Watercolor and hand embroidery make for the most darling combination in these mini Christmas bags. Welcome to today's watercolor and hand embroidery tutorial. I'm Nikki, owner of Just Beyond the Cottonwoods, and today I'm sharing how to create over 80 Christmas mini bags. I created these for an upcoming Christmas market as a gift with purchase of $40 or more, but you could make a handful or several dozen for your own markets, Christmas festivities, weddings, teacher gifts, or little surprises for friends. I used mini bags that I've had for several years, but I linked similar bags in the description below if you want to check them out. I grabbed all of my paint palettes that I've used for other projects so that I can use the green pigments from them to have a nice variety. In order to protect the bags from wandering watercolor paint, I'm using some scrap paper to protect the back of the bags by cutting pieces to fit inside the bags as I paint them. I can reuse these papers for my tiny paintings so they won't be wasted, and I like the peace of mind that they give me. After the bags are stuffed, I watercolor them with the green paints that I have. I've tried two different techniques and found that I preferred the second technique the best. It really depends on if you like the more rustic look or a fuller wreath. It's a personal choice. I prefer the fuller wreath style there towards the end and did most of them that way. These wreaths are very thirsty and take lots of water and pigment. I used a dabbing technique to fill my wreath circle at first. I do like the more jagged edging on these wreaths. I start with the center circle and work my way out, trying to keep the overall wreath centered on the bag. I imagine these being full of treats, and I prefer to keep the wreath centered, but I also think they would look cute with off-centered wreaths, or a wreath at the top or at the bottom, or even offset on the bottom left or bottom right portion. I finally decided to try for a more smooth wreath by adding even more water and pigment and dragging my bristles instead of dabbing them. In the end, this became a quicker means to an end, and I found this technique more enjoyable. Once the bags are completely dry and the watercolor papers are removed, it's time to hand embroider the accents. I use a length of floss that measures closely to the distance between my longest finger and elbow, and I use only 3 of the 6 strands of floss. I chose red threads, but white, blues, pinks, and other colors would work lovely as well. Knot the thread by rolling it around my fingers and pulling it down. These little berries are fringe knots, and honestly it took me several years to master making fringe knots consistently and quickly. I watched multiple videos and had a friend who is good at them practice with me in person. If you pause and rewatch this portion, you may find it very helpful. The key to a good knot is keeping the thread tight and not going back into the hole you came up through. You want to space it close, but not too close. As you are stitching, be careful not to stitch the back of the bag. Take your time and go slow so that you don't poke yourself with a sharp needle. If you find fringe knots frustrate you for this project because the bags are tiny and there isn't a lot of space to work with, you can choose a different stitch. You could stitch tiny stars that could look like berries, add daisy stitches for flowers, or simply stitch on beads in place of the berries. love to see your creations and hear about any feedback when you try this DIY. Let me know what goodies you plan to tuck inside your bags. When I'm finished with my French knot or run out of thread and need new thread, I secure the thread that exists on the inside by tucking it under existing stitches a few times and then clip off the excess floss. This final step, and the most satisfying, is adding a cute ribbon to the top of the wreaths. To do this, I use all 6 strands of floss and tuck in and out at the top of the wreath. I pull my needle off and am left with 2 ends of string that I can then turn into bows with flowy ribbons. I cut the excess off at various lengths. These cuties are ready for market. Check out my seasonal videos and playlists for more handmade inspiration. Happy creating!